Welcome to the Tennis Warehouse racket review of the Dunlop CX 200 18x20 Limited Edition. Dunlop adds this new racket to its signature control line, and this one is super fast and easy to swing. An ultra-low sub 310 swing weight makes it easy to whip this racket for added spin and angles. The 18x20 string pattern is loaded with Powergrid Stringtech Plus, which features wider cross-string spacing to further enhance spin and power. Dunlop has also updated the stiffness profile of the frame, adding greater flexibility on the inner part of the frame for enhanced dwell time, while also stiffening the racket's face for added stability and power. This racket features a 98 square-inch head size, an 11.4-ounce strong weight, and a 6-point headlight balance. This racket is so fast and whippy from the baseline in stock form. On paper, I thought it looked like a great racket to customize with some added weight and just tinker, get that swing weight up a little bit. But on court, I found it had plenty of stability for me. I really liked it when I was accelerating through the ball. I found the racket to stay solid in that instance. From the baseline, I was able to get a lot of height over the net and get the ball dipping way inside the lines, really shaping my shots just because of the spin-friendly nature of it on my topspin shots. And then on my slice shots, I usually prefer a heavier racket to help me knife through the ball. But this racket I found I could really just, again, whip that racket through the ball, get a lot of rotation on my slice and get it skidding nice and low. Had a lot of fun generating angles, rolling topspin lobs with it. And then on serve, it's another shot where I usually like a heavier racket to help me push through the ball and get some mass on the serve that I'm not bringing with my technique. But with this racket, my slice serve was working really well. Sneaking in a couple of aces here and there on the do side with the slice serve wide. And then even my flat serve going wide on the ad side was working well with this racket. So super fun play test for me. I kept it stock and had a good time.
So when I first got onto the court with this frame, I struggled just a little bit because with the denser string pattern, it's a dense 1820 with a more controlled setup. So some of my balls were landing a bit too short. I was getting a lot of spin, but again, it was landing short. So that's when some of my opponents were able to take advantage of my shots a little bit, but nothing too much for me to change about. Just a little bit of an open racket and then a lot of racket head speed, which you can add a ton of in this frame because of the slightly lower swing weight. I did customize mine just a little bit. It's now a little bit under 320 swing weight. So now I have a little bit more plow through, a little bit more power. On serves, before the customization, I was getting a few aces here and there, a few free points here and there, but it wasn't because of the power, but more so to do with the control and the accuracy of the shot. So if you're some player who, if you can generate your own power and your own spin, you're probably gonna get the pinpoint accuracy from the racket, and now you have a powerful serve. So that's something I liked about it. At net is something else that I struggled with because it had the slightly lower swing weight and slightly lower weight. Anything off of the center I hit was where I was getting a little bit of instability. But again, after the customization, a little bit of weight here and there, it definitely decreased it a little bit. So if you're a player looking for that extra control, you're looking for that maneuverability, the whippiness from a racket, but along with the control, definitely check out the new Dunlop CX 200.
I really enjoyed both this playtest and the racket, the new Dunlop CX 200 with 18 main, weighing about 305 grams, so it's just right in my wheelhouse that way. When I first started playing with these rackets, I was not aware of the stiffness rating, the swing weight, or the balance, and I kind of prefer it that way. We've been playing this guessing game around the office of who can guess the swing weight, so I really enjoyed just taking this out, getting the experience of it, and I really didn't have a clue from swinging it that it had a swing weight just under 310. It felt pretty whippy. I was able to get the head through contact of the ball very easily, and even under the pressure of like heavier hitters, I really wasn't feeling instability at all. I did learn that it's got a 21.5 millimeter beam, and that's pretty similar to some other rackets that I really enjoy playing with, so it gives me probably a little more of a plush feeling than energy return, but that's great. This racket was an all-court masterpiece from any part of the court, kept my slice very low. I was able to, like Chris mentioned, get a good net height, margin for error over the net, and good topspin as well. Probably my favorite shot to hit with it from the baseline was the backhand slice. And then I would say my serves aiming down the tee and out wide on the ad side were two of my favorite shots to hit overhead. Overall, just a great play test and a fantastic racket.
I was really looking forward to getting out on court, with this addition to the CX 200 line, the 98 square inch head size with the 1820 pattern. Typically lately, I've been more of an open string pattern player. My racket of choice is a 1619, but I have been testing a lot of 18 by 20 rackets lately. So I felt pretty dialed in as far as like the launch angle and the spin potential goes. And coming back to a classic sort of thin beam Dunlop frame, it really takes me back to some of my early days. One of the first rackets I ever tested or actually purchased was a Dunlop Infield 200. So just felt like I was at home. One thing that really surprised me is how fast and maneuverable this racket is. Very, very whippy, low swing weight, not a very high static weight either. But for that, as soon as I got up to net, I found a very, very stable response. So I was really surprised how stable this racket was, combined with that fast feel. I felt really precise from the baseline, and I just love the nice, firm, crisp feel to this racket. It kind of took me back to like a Pro Staff 97 from Wilson with a tighter pattern. So just really love this racket. I'll be customizing it to get more plow through and depth on my shots, but I was really, really impressed with how solid and stable it felt in such a light, fast package. For this review, we strung this racket with a variety of Dunlop polys, including Black Widow, Explosive Tour, and Explosive Bite, down at about 50 pounds. For more information on this racket or anything tennis related, be sure to head to Tennis Warehouse, Tennis Warehouse Europe, or Tennis Only.